So if you own your own business, or even if you're just an independent subcontractor, should you be keeping your receipts? The answer to this question is yes. And of course, I can't speak for the whole world here. I'm just speaking to businesses operating in Canada, as that's where I live and I'm most familiar with. But yes, you have to keep your business receipts. And you should also keep records for things like sales and just banking activity and things like that as well. But when it comes specifically to receipts for business expenses, yes, you should be keeping those. And the rule according to the CRA is you should be keeping those for 6 years after the business year in which they're expensed. So, probably up to 7 years is how long you should keep them for. And now one thing I wanted to mention in this video is that you don't necessarily have to submit those receipts. I think that's a misconception for people starting a business, is that they think they need to keep receipts for their business expenses so they can submit those with their tax return. But when you're submitting your tax return, you just have to claim those expenses. You don't have to submit the receipts to the CRA. The only time you would really need to submit those receipts or proof of expenses to the CRA would be if they are questioning you or doing a full audit on you. So yes, keep them, but no, you don't have to submit them. The reason that you do keep them is so that you can prove that you did actually have those expenses if you are ever questioned or audited. And other than that, it's also good just for your records as well, regardless of tax requirements. So again, as I mentioned, keep those for approximately 6 years after the tax year in which you claim them. And those can be kept in different forms. Of course, you're going to get receipts in different forms. Like a couple of days ago, I filled up for gas and I got a paper receipt. Whereas today I went and paid for parking for a business meeting and I just got an email receipt. For other things, I get digital receipts. So those will come in different forms. It's always good to keep the original version. For certain paper receipts, you can just take a picture of those and save those digitally if you want to. And then for email receipts or digital receipts, you can keep those in your email, you can download those and put them in a file. It's kind of up to you. And now depending on how many receipts you have, it could be a good idea to get really organized with those digitally, especially if you're working with a bookkeeper. What you could do is set up a Google Drive where you have your receipts, and then you could create separate folders based on month, based on project, based on category of expense. So it kind of depends on the industry that you work in. Let's say, for example, you are a massage therapist and you just have regular clients. Maybe you want to, categorize your receipts based on month. Whereas if you do construction and you're doing different small projects, maybe you want to categorize those based more on projects, so you can kind of do project costing. Whereas for me, I like to categorize my expenses more so based on the category, such as parking, such as rent, such as advertising or software. So this doesn't really need to be a really complicated process, and you can make it more digital or more physical if you want. If you're getting a lot of physical receipts, you could just put those in physical folders, again, based on month or based on category or based on project. But yes, you should be hanging on to those receipts, whether that's physical form or digital form. And I will leave a link in this video in the description below to the CRA website that talks about record keeping for businesses. So hopefully this video was helpful. If so, please click like. And if you'd like to check out my YouTube channel, I've got lots of videos on here that cover business management and business startup topics. As of today, I have over 200, so feel free to check those out.